Hey guys, it's Misty here. I'm going to show you how quickly what I do for breakfast for John during the week. So, depending on if I've had to get up for Sophie for her diabetes at night and I'm sleep in the morning, this is so he has something for breakfast every day. Here I'm going to make 7 burritos. I actually made 8 because before I even did this part, I made one quick off to get John out the door this morning. Otherwise, I usually do them on Saturdays or Sunday afternoon and get them frozen, and then he just throws them in the oven while he's showering, and then they're done by the time he's ready to go. Or he takes it with him and he nukes it in the microwave at work. He does not nuke them at home because we do not own a microwave. I haven't owned a microwave in 7, 8 years. Something like that. So I started out, I went ahead and browned sausage. Then I'm chopping up a bell pepper. I use what veggies I've got in the house. And I forgot to add mushrooms. I always have bell peppers. I always have mushrooms. I always have onions. I could have added in some potato, but I feel the flour tortilla is enough carb at once, so I don't typically add in potatoes to it. I mean, occasionally I do. So I chop up bell pepper, and I melted butter in the skillet, and I started browning. And yes, I leave the membranes inside the bell pepper. It doesn't hurt you. And my way of thinking is that's the part of the pepper that supports the seeds, the seed growth. So to me, that has got to have a little more nutrients than just the meat. My way of thinking, I have no proof of that. I just leave it in because I don't like throwing anything away. Y'all saw me cut around the cap of the bell pepper. I don't like to waste, period. So I'm dumping the drained sausage meat back in with the bell pepper. And I just let it brown and chill there while I'm cracking eggs. So you can see where I did the eggs earlier in the pan, or in the bowl. So I did 2 eggs in his burrito this morning. This batch, I did the other 10 eggs, I believe, in the dozen. And these are store-bought eggs because my hens still aren't laying. They're getting close. They're starting to go up there and sit. I have one that's broody. She's never laid anything, but she's broody. I had a fake egg out there to show them where to lay. But those little heifers out there done rolled it off the top of the roost. That was funny. So now I go over here and I'm going to stir just so it's mixed up. And I have it on a medium-high heat. I'm going to give these eggs a quick whisk. It's all in the flick of the wrist. And just give it a good general stir, breaking the yolks. And, well, we all know how to whisk eggs. It's not rocket science. Add a little salt and a little pepper. Give the meat and peppers a little bit more of a stir. And then I whisk as I pour. I know that seems odd to some people, but it keeps it from developing the yolk back. I've had that happen some. So I'm putting it in the skillet. It's still hot and still got the fire under it. And I'm letting it cook. You can see it's getting white around the edges. These are little currant tomatoes. They're white currant tomatoes. I bought these at the farmer's market because I wanted to try them. I've seen the seeds. I've seen Roots and Refuge, which I love to watch. She talks about all kinds of tomatoes because that's her favorite thing out of the garden. Well, I'm the same way. I love tomatoes. So I was curious, and I saw them at the farmer's market Saturday, so I picked up a little bag of them so I can try them. Oh my goodness, y'all. These are the sweetest, yummiest little snacking tomatoes. They are sweet to the point of this is where the thought of tomatoes or fruit come from. They are so sweet, and they have such a concentrated, delicious flavor for such a tiny little thing. So once I get all of them in, I'm stirring and getting the egg off the bottom of my skillet. Yeah, but look, I cooked eggs in cast iron with one little pat of butter. Yeah, it sticks a little bit as it's cooking, but once you get the eggs done, it no longer sticks. But these little currant tomatoes, they're so delicate that you can't, when you pick them, you have to cut the stem off because they burst. The skin comes off. So I was having to pick the stems off. And that little bitty paper bag you see up there, which is where my currant tomatoes were from, was $3. And that's a lot. Ethan and I have been snacking on them because Ethan is my tomato muncher, just like I am. Okay, so these are 10-inch burrito tortillas, and I forgot the cheese. That's why I unwrapped it. I forgot the cheese. Look, all that yummy steam coming off of that. This is just sharp cheddar cheese. This is what we prefer. And I roll it up. And yes, y'all will notice I forget quite often to put the cheese in there. John's fine with that. There's lots of protein in this. Even though my counters are clean and it's fine, I myself wouldn't have dirtied up another plate to do this, but Matthew, OCD. So I just fill the burritos up, roll it over, tuck the end, and keep rolling. Oops. If it spills out, add it to the next burrito. And I will have to grab more burritos. That is 5. Grabbing the other package. I buy my my tortillas at Sam's. Mama Lupe brand comes with a 20 pack for the same price as a single pack of Mission. And it has better texture and better flavor. I make my own sometimes, but my tortilla press, it says it's a 10-inch, but it only makes 8-inch at the most. So, okay, see, look at that skillet, guys. If you season your cast iron properly, it does not stick. Even eggs. So all those commercials that talk about this and that, look, cast iron works better. It has better heat distribution. It's not that hard to clean and season. And it's just as, if you do it right, it's just as nonstick as everything else. Yeah. You can't put it in the dishwasher. You can't soak it in the sink. Shoot, most of the time we don't even use soap on it. Yes, I know. And people go, well, that rule about soap is because lye, they used to put lye in soap. Honey, if you got soap of any kind, it's got lye in it. Any soap maker will tell you that. But yes, our soaps are not as harsh as what housewives used to hand make. But I can tell you, Dawn dish soap is made to remove grease and oil. And what you put in your pan to season it is oil. So if you're doing that, hello, you're taking the seasoning off. Seasoning's what makes it nonstick. So wipe it out with steaming hot water, like water you don't want to put your hands in. Put it on the stove, heat it to get all the water out of it. Wipe it down with a little bit of Crisco or lard. Let it sit on the heat for a second. Turn the heat off. My two most commonly used cast iron skillets sit on the stove all the time. So I just quickly wrap these up in aluminum foil. I don't use aluminum a whole lot in my kitchen. I don't use aluminum foil to cook with because it does leach out in heat. I don't like aluminum pans either. I use them when I'm taking meals to church, when I'm taking meals to somebody else. That way I don't lose my cookware. I also use aluminum pans. I make lasagna. When I make lasagna, I'm going to make 2 or 3 at a time. And I make them in these pans and put them in the freezer. So I just use the little aluminum pan and I stack all the individual burritos in, just like that. And it goes in the freezer. John will, in the morning, he'll grab out one, throw it in the oven. And it's done. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.